Yes, the time that when I first picked up a camera at 12 years old till now, it's been such a journey of mine. There's a lot of things that I learned. There's a lot of people I met, and there's a lot of things that I felt molded me into what is deemed as a film director. I've always been able to write. I've always wrote stories and poems since I was a little kid, and I guess I took that gift for granted because of how interesting it was for me to go to school and learn all of these different things. Don't get me wrong, I would not say that I was a genius nerd or anything like that, but I did get good grades. They even asked me to skip a grade when I was in the second grade. Like, do you want to go to third grade? And I'm like, it's okay. I'll stay at second grade and stay with the people that are my age. I didn't want to go with the older ones. Just being with my upbringing. My mother was a single parent for some time in my childhood, and then she got remarried. But before then, she would always go to work, countless of hours, every day, and provide for me, my brother, and her brothers and sisters living in the house. Like, it was a 3-1, and it was like 6 to 7 people. And I think that to have that amount of people and being the youngest in that circle just made me enjoy entertainment in a almost angelic way, because we were very religious. We loved to go to church and do Bible study with my mom and with my aunt and things of that nature. But the thing is that the TV was always on. We would always play jokes, and after school, homework was easy, so let's go play outside. I remember when falling in love with basketball. Like, there goes Michael Jordan. After watching the Chicago Bulls game, let's go to the backyard and play basketball in a hoop, or let's go to the park and try to do the fadeaway and things like that. I'm like, it didn't really click that me being a storyteller or an excellent writer, that I was grooming, or the community was grooming me for film, until I was in the 8th grade. I had a crush on a friend of mine. She was very beautiful, like a Hispanic girl, and one day I saved up my money. I asked her, so where are you going for high school? And I made the choice to go to art school, and she eventually, and the other couple of friends of mine, went to art school as well. And yeah, so we all went to high school together. And I asked her, like, hey, would you like to take a picture? Because I looked up things. I didn't want to be a doctor like my mom wanted me to. I figured that seeing my mom be a nurse and seeing how many hours and how long she had to work, it kind of scared me a little bit about the medical field. So I figured that, hey, if I can pick something, it would be to be a movie star or an actor or anything like that. I was always getting compliments on me being a cute one to the older ladies and stuff like that. So I was like, wow, I guess it doesn't. Being smart is not necessarily the way to being rich and well established in my younger days. So I kind of didn't want to be a doctor anymore. I kind of wanted to do something that was fun. And we watched a movie with my uncle one weekend, and it was Liar Liar, and I can imagine, it was like, wow, just seeing Jim Carrey hang out from the plane as they were leaving. I was like, wow, how did they do that? And from there, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be an actor anymore. I probably wouldn't even get picked to be an actor. Let me be a film director, because I want to be the one that picks all the people, and I want to be the one that that gets to talk to all the beautiful girls and stuff like that and pick them. And I figured like, hey, if they liked the stories that I write, then they'll fall for me and not the actor. But we ended up going to William H. Turner Technical Arts High School, and she enrolled in the Health Academy. Ironically, I enrolled in television production / film. And before we graduated the 8th grade, I was like, you know what? You look like a model. You always have your hair out. You always have the lip gloss on. You know, this is just me in the 8th grade. You always have the lip gloss on and everything like that. Let's try taking a couple pictures. So I went to the store one week, and I saved up my money and I bought a little camera, a Polaroid camera. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, wow. I didn't even think I was that old. We had a Polaroid camera. You would have to develop the film and come pick it up within an hour. But I bought it and I was like, hey, now's your turn. And it was like around the end of the school year in the 8th grade. And I took a picture of her and she loved it. And then that didn't work, of course. That didn't seem to impress or anything like that. And I guess once we went to high school, I was like, you know what? Let me try being the most popular kid in school because I want to make movies. So we never really get to see each other because she was always in health classes. I was always in film and TV classes, and I was grooming myself to become one of the best filmmakers or film directors, I should say, on the planet. Me picking Steven Spielberg to follow myself up. And you can say my whole high school and collegiate career was to follow this guy's footsteps. I'm like, he had a rough start and he blew up with Jaws, and he blew up with so many other big Hollywood blockbusters, man. And I was like, wow, you know what? I need to be just like him. And I kind of grew my collegiate career to mimic his professional career, if you wouldn't believe it. I'm like, I ended up graduating from Turner Tech and going off to Full Sail University, where we did film classes. Then I switched over to digital because it's digital cinematography now. Now in my adult life, it's digital. It wasn't the Polaroid camera or the mini DV tapes or the SD cameras or anything like that. It wasn't mini DV anymore. It wasn't Polaroid. It's now digital. So I switched over from film, and I went to other bachelor's program, digital cinematography, and that fared very well. It really got me comfortable with digital cameras and camcorders and things like that. But I figured Steven, he had a bachelor's in film, I believe, and me having a bachelor's in film / digital cinematography would kind of mimic what he was going through, because I don't know if it was something that he enrolled and later on earned, but the Masters of Film program was such a tough degree program for me because, well, I was doing majority of my school online and hanging out with friends and, you know, just not doing it the exact right way. We were doing guerrilla viral skits, and doing freebies around the neighborhood just to get our names out there. And for a Masters of Film, it takes about a year at Full Sail to complete, but you have to be on campus. And with me being majority online students, well, you can say that that was impossible because I racked up so much student loans, and although I had a scholarship to pay for the class, I never necessarily had living expenses money because jobs were coming few far in between in my situation, having this entertainment degree and not finding anywhere else to fit myself. Or it's like back to square one, get an entry-level job, get a $90 an hour job and save up your money somehow, some way. And that just wasn't working. So I ended up not doing Masters of Film, although that was my ultimate goal, and I'm still crushed that I never got the opportunity to do Masters of Film. But I ended up getting a teaching job at a high school, and that prompted me to do entertainment business because, well, like Steven, Mr. Spielberg, as I say, after he made those Hollywood blockbusters and got that major payout, DreamWorks was made, and he owned it, and he's now making films and producing films independently and sending them out wherever avenue that they are going to, whether it's the movie theaters or streaming or DVD, Blu-ray, how it was back in the day, and now TV. Well, I should say TV and streaming it is now. I'm not sure if there's any Blu-ray or DVDs that people want to necessarily buy in 2025. Then again, I do live under a rock, and I do live on a rock, and I'm a movie buff, but I stream a lot. I watch TV and go to movie theaters. Those are my three avenues that I enjoy the most. But when it was DVD and Blu-ray, he went from film to own his own business. So I did my master's in entertainment business, and I figured, well, if this doesn't work, I can always start my own company like Steven if I apply and get in with the big guys, and I can always do my master's I can always do entertainment business to take that big check, a couple of big checks, a couple of movies, a couple of big checks, and build on my own and associate produce. Or in my case, associate direct, because I still wanted to be a director or writer, director, producer. Which is hilarious because this guy's getting paid right now and I'm just following him through my collegiate career. So I ended up doing digital cinematography masters in the entertainment business. Never got a good job. I think the school let me go after a year, and back to square one. It's like, okay, this big entertainment business degree that I have my master's in, maybe I can get a job as a manager somewhere to save up, to possibly head over to California and then pitch some of my movie writings that I've been writing since I was 12 years old. So it was definitely a journey. And like, I even got an audio engineering certification just to tweak audio a little bit to see if that will help me look just that more enticing to the human resources departments at these major jobs. So that's me in a nutshell. If you follow my collegiate career, there's a lot of freebies, and I think that drove me to the poorhouse from 22 years old to now. Now I'm 36. From 22 to 36 years old, I've been basically living on a poverty line and having my mom take care of me. It's a gamble to be a producer, and when you meet different people, they are excited, you are excited, and just playing and having fun gets your skills better, but it doesn't necessarily put you in the major leagues of movies. But anything can happen, and it's not like you have to put them in a DVD or a Blu-ray. You can just now upload them to YouTube and go viral, and that just makes distribution a little easier. But of course, YouTube is not necessarily my ultimate goal. I'm not necessarily would classify myself as a YouTuber. My portfolio with all of my videos on YouTube, if you search my name, and of course you'll see my portfolio, which shows a link to all of my videos on YouTube. But I don't know, that's not the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is, as the greats will always say, let's get into movie theaters. Let's get our work in movie theaters. Let's put it on TV. Then let's put it on streaming platforms so the audience can watch and love our work. I'm like, it's nothing wrong with being a YouTuber, but I do believe if you don't go viral, you're taking less of a risk on spending for pre-production and production and post-production. I'm like, you can save up your money and do an excellent video or excellent short film, excellent movie, excellent episode of TV show, but once you gamble all that money and you distribute it for free on YouTube and have your YouTube studio account and everything like that, and you don't necessarily go viral, then you kind of left yourself at a loss, like, okay, what do I do next? What is going to happen now? And that's the scary part. But that scary part is actually my reality. Yeah. So I'm like, the fight, the gamble of being a film director is my ultimate goal. My small company, we went belly up. Not really belly up. We went inactive because we didn't find enough services to do for the general public after producing all these freebies. We did churches, clubs, short films, photo shoots, candids, and things like that. And we tried everything. But at the same time, it got us popular, but not anyone would come back to us like, okay, well, we'll pay you some odd dollars to use your creative geniuses or your creative talents to make a project for us, whether it's a wedding or anything like that. And that didn't work either. So I think that now it's time to focus on migrating and making that big jump to California, to seeing that if it's degrees, then yes, I have degrees. If it's experience, you can look at my portfolio, and I think that that should be the start to my official film director's career. And that's just what I want to get cleared up. So I'm like, everything that I've been doing is all on a test and all on a micro budget scale, on a $2 bottle of water and a honey bun from the corner store production and a little camera. So if there's anything that I would like to showcase from that, I would, as soon as I get hired, I'm taking all those videos down. They're embarrassing to me. I'm pretty sure, that with the crew and with the right cast, of course, you can make a better production if we all work together and everybody's getting paid and everybody's satisfied and everybody's comfortable. The way that I've been doing it is kind of like spur of the moment. I just thought something cool. Let's do it. And I guess it's a gamble, but I don't know. It's fun, but we haven't gone viral. So being a YouTuber failure, I should say. I hate to say it, but being a YouTube failure is not the way to go. We're looking at getting the big bucks. I'm like, anybody can put their stuff on YouTube. You don't have to go to school to make a video and use iMovie and put up a family video or anything, or a prank or a skit or anything like that, and come out knowing that you didn't go to school for it. Anybody can put their stuff on YouTube. But for me, I see my website or my YouTube portfolio as what it is, a portfolio to showcase what I can do on a micro budget scale, on a one-on-one basis, or possibly even a one-on whichever production that you may watch on my channel. Maybe because it was necessary. It was pretty much just me working and doing all of the creative flowing under a micro budget. Like from 22 to 40, I probably worked 5 years. And the rest of the time has just been conjuring and going back to school and trying to figure out what to do to get to Cali. And now that I'm a little older, is now my focus is making my dreams a reality, and that's to make films.